Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we're going to be playing Muskogee. And if I butchered that pronunciation, I am so sorry. I am absolutely trying. Now, I had to do a little bit of research to actually understand what that word is. It's not something that I've come across at all before, but it is apparently a city. This is apparently it is a city in Oklahoma, but it does have a bit of like Cherokee heritage. So I kind of, like, as you can see there, went for almost like American wilderness there, kind of Midwest in the background. That's kind of the theme that I went for. Now, if you haven't already figured out, this is a Tuesday puzzle, which means we are back with artisanal Sudoku. And this is the third puzzle that James Sinclair often publishes, where it means that there are two different versions. There are two editions. There's one with minimal clues. I say minimal. With fewer clues, and it's going to be a little bit harder, more like a 2-3 star difficulty rated puzzle, and then one with extra clues, so it's more fitting for a weekday puzzle. And fingers crossed I'm going to be able to actually solve the harder one. If I don't, I will obviously just bring up the one with more clues so that we can actually make some progress. So it means, if you know what all of that means, that just a reminder that there are two links down below. You get to choose your own adventure. Anyway, let's take a look at today's puzzle and rule set with Muskogee by James Sinclair. Ignore the grey box, that's just me verifying that it's all recording, and yes it is. Rules-wise, we've got normal Sudoku rules apply and all clues are standard, which are arrows and quadruple circles. So, if that's familiar, you can crack on. On the off chance that you are not familiar with what these rules mean, normal Sudoku, place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row. Every column, of course, every 3x3 box, so nothing unusual here. Arrows, so the sum of the digits along an arrow is equal to the digit in the connected circle. So these 3 cells will have 3 digits, and their sum is going to be inside this circle. The quadruple circles, digits inside a white circle, must appear in at least one of the 4 cells surrounding that circle. So essentially the digit 8 must be somewhere in these 4 cells. The digits 3 and 5 must be somewhere in these 4 cells. That's all we have. So, as always, to play along, link in the description down below for you to do so. And with that said, I'm going to restart the clock and see how I get on. I mean, I could already see a few things from the quick walkthrough. So, actually, there's quite a few arrows. So, right, arrows that have 3 cells that are in the same row or box means that they're all unique. The minimum, which is 1, 2, and 3, because they are all unique, gets me to at least 6. So you have this arrow sum here, here, and here, all of which have a minimum of 6 and all the way up to 9. I mean, this particular one doesn't have 9 because we know from the quadruple circle that this is not a 9. We also know that this is not an 8. Now, you can also immediately see that with this quadruple circle, yeah, that 1, 2, well, it's clearly not inside the arrow sum, it's in here. And I also know that these 2 cells are different, so we're going to remember that because I'm sure we're going to use it a bit later. This is also not an 8. No, sorry, hang on, it can't be an 8. Sorry, excuse me. Right, 6, 7, 8 means that this is definitely got a 1. If you don't have a 1 on these 3 cells, 2, 3, 4 would be the minimum. It will add up to 9 and then it's broken. Oh, here is a bit of Sudoku for you. I always feel very proud whenever I do Sudoku alongside the variants. Right, so have a think about what's happening in boxes 5 and 6. You can see that the 8 is in these 2 cells, the 4 cells, excuse me. 8 is in these 4 cells, and you essentially end up with an 8 X-wing for rows 4 and 5. So the question, and obviously they're somewhere in here. So the question is, where is the 8 in row 6? And we know it can't be there because they're kind of forced into the quadruple circles. I know it absolutely cannot be on the arrow sum, because how am I going to get to a sum of 8 if I still have 2 more digits? We have our first digit with an 8 in here. If I can't fit an 8 on this arrow, I absolutely cannot fit a 9, so the 9 has to go here. The 9 is not in these 2 cells, the 9 has to go here. The 8 now has to be in these two cells, and then the 8 has to be up here. 8 on the arrow sum, on a 3-cell arrow sum, it's not going to work because 1, 2, and 8 would get me to 11. So that's not an 8. That is the 8 because Sudoku says it's not in here. So suddenly we have plenty of digits. In fact, this is not a 9 either. So these have to be from 1, 2, 3, 4. To get to 6, it's 1, 2, 3. To get to 7, it's 1, 2, 4. There's a definite 1, 2 in here. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Right, 8 in here means this is not 8, which also means that this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Exact same reasoning that we've just went through. 9 is not in here, that's no 9. 9 can't be on the arrow, so 9 is in one of these two cells. 9 is in fact just placed, blanket statement. That's a 9. And these are of course from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 now. I can have 1, 2, and 5 to get to an 8. Interesting, but not quite enough. Where am I going with this? 9 is in one of 3 cells. Not very exciting. 9, oh, there you go. Not 9. This is now 6 and 7. They don't have to be different, mind you. In fact, so is this cell, and so is this cell. They don't have to be different. These could be the same digit, I think. I'm sure there'll be a reason why they can't be later, but right now there's nothing stopping them from being the same digit. And you can see with me here, 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 1, 2, 3, 4 in rows 3, column 3. It would be very helpful if I can eliminate an 8 from here. How would I eliminate an 8 from there? Can I eliminate an 8 from there? I'm not sure I can. Sorry, I'm now obsessing about something that I'm not even sure is useful. But it's just there's a bit of symmetry going on, or like almost like a mirror image going down this diagonal, that I'm now suddenly very curious why it's suddenly broken here. And wondering if there's something that I am missing that I'm not appreciating. Very often the case, let's be fair. So 8's not here, so 8 is in these 4 cells. Interesting. 8's not there. No, not getting it. Nine, of course, is up here. That's why 9's is a 9. No 8's is an 8. Not an 8. So this is, in fact, 1, 2, 3, 4 as well. Right, so column 3 and row 3 are now interesting. They are very interesting. Have a look at what it does to Sudoku. Right, time for a bit of coloring. So we know that these 1, 2 are different because of the quadruple. So we'll color one purple, we'll color one blue. Now, these cells are clearly not purple. These cells are clearly not purple. They're the other 3 remaining digits in 1, 2, 3, and 4. And essentially it's saying, well, Sudoku says they're not here. Sudoku says they're not here. So they've got to be up here, 3 of them, plus the 5. So these cells are essentially, well, that's not at all what I wanted to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, definite 3 and 5. And then these cells are essentially 6, 7, 8, 9. But I kind of knew that anyway, because obviously I've got the 1, 2, 3, 4. Hang on. No 5. No 5, no 5, no 5. Absolutely a 5. So that's different. And again, same logic, no 5, no 5, no 5, absolutely a 5. So kind of interesting. These now do have to be different because this cell, it's not in these two, has to be up here. And therefore, because it's up there, it's not here. So these are definitely different now. We actually know that for a fact. So this set is 1, 2, 3. This set is 1, 2, 4. In some order, we don't actually know what it is. I feel like I'm on the cusp of something here. Greatness, almost. Where am I going with this? So this set, let me just think this through. So let's just assume for a second this is the 7. The 6, clearly. The 7. So you end up with a 1, 2, 4 triple, and therefore the 3 has to be in here. Okay. And then the other side, let's say, will be a 1, 2, 3 triple because we're adding up something different. So you'd end up with 1, 2, 3, and then the 4 definitely in here. Interesting. Oh, this is fascinating. Without the 8 and 9, without the 8 and 9, you can see that essentially whichever one has the 4 or 3 is going to force the 6 or 7. Because I can't have 1, 3, 4 to get to an 8. So the one that has a 4 will lead to a 7. The one that has a 3 will lead to a 6. So there's a bit of a, like, I am going to use some colors now. I don't know, yellow and orange. So orange, so this has to be purple because we've established that one of these is not going to have a 4. We'll end up with 1, 2, 3 triple, and therefore this cell would have to be purple. And the same kind of logic reverses. So this and this are not 3 or 4. They are in fact blue and purple. And then the one that is adding up to, let's say, a 6, would make a 1, 2, 3, leaves a 4 in here, making this a 7. So in essence, this is the opposite of what this is. And I imagine it would work the reverse. So this would be yellow, and this would be orange. All fascinating, but like I don't know if it's actually helping me just yet. And then, of course, we know that orange is up here, yellow is up there. In itself, not particularly interesting, is it? These 8s gave me an 8 over here a long time ago, and I just kind of ignored it. Meaning 8 is in one of these 3 cells. It actually could be on the arrow with a 1 and a 9. Nothing stopping or preventing that, seemingly. And in fact, the whole kind of mirror symmetry that's going on here kind of almost suggests that with 8, 9, and a 1. Not too sure. I mean, not a 9, not an 8. I mean, that's just like almost like a waste of time. So blue's not there. Blue is in here. Blue has to be there. Which, to be fair, could be down here. Is it? Why did I say it was blue? I meant purple. What? Yes, that's not blue. Excuse me. That is just absolutely wrong. That is wrong. Purple, we'll remove the 1, 2, or 3, or 4, whatever it is. So we remove the 4. Right, let's just undo what I've done earlier and just make sure that we think through this. So I remove the 4. I end up with a 1, 2, 3 triple. This has to be this cell. Yes. So these two are always purple. Has nothing to do with blue. Interesting. I'm going to say this has to be purple. You see, these cells have to have both 1 and 2. And the fact that neither of these are purple tells me that this has to be purple, and this is also not 3 or 4. In fact, the fact that this is 3 or 4, this was never 1, 2. This is not 3, 4. This is blue. This is just getting better and better. And then blue is in here, and then blue is, in fact, even though I had it for the wrong reasons, blue is definitely up here. Keep going. Purple's not here. And again, this is not 1 or 2. We've kind of proven that a few times now. So this is the 3, 4, and therefore this is not 3 or 4. This is the 1, 2. This is not the purple. This is not purple. This is purple. And this has to be blue because it's the other 1, 2. This is not blue. This is blue. If I can actually highlight things correctly. And then Sudoku says purple 1, 2. No purple, no purple. Yeah, kind of starting to get... Oh, hang on. Yeah, it is interesting, especially with this quadruple. Ooh, love it. Sorry, for a second I was going to put a purple 1, 2 in here. No, ignore that. Right, so we have 1 and 2 in here. Purple's not there, purple's not there, purple's not here. This is purple. That is guaranteed. And then I know that 1 and 2, the blue 1 and 2 can't be here because I can't have a double 1 adding up to a 2. This is at least a 3. And this is not blue. This is blue. It's not an 8. Because I need both purple and blue, and I've ruled it out of this circle, and I've ruled it out of this box. So 1 and 2 is giving me a 3. However significant that is not a 3. Now remember, I said something about these two, because this is purple, and we need both the 1 and 2 in here. So blue has to be here, blue has to be there, and it's clearly not this cell. So that is not blue. This is my 3, 4. This is my 1, 2. And I'm not getting why I have it for this cell. What am I, like, it's probably some Sudoku I'm missing. It's always some Sudoku I'm missing. No blue, no blue. Blue's in one of two, oh, actually 4. Blue is in one of 2 places. And that is significant because, there you go. 1 and 2, 1 and 2. Can't have it in here. 1 and 2. So this is definitely blue. That is not blue. This is definitely blue. These are 1, 2s. That is not 1, 2 or 4. So we actually know what side is everything now. So this is my other 1, 2. Don't need this kind of corner pencil mark. That 3 tells me that this is 6, 6, 7. And therefore this is 3, 4. And 4, 7. Beautiful. It's amazing what people can do when constructing these puzzles. Just like absolutely incredible. Really, really enjoyable kind of getting this far. So 4 is not here, 4 is there. Half interesting really. 4. No 1, 2s here. Excuse me, I kind of didn't notice that for a while. This is 3, 4, 5. Because we got the 2 1, 2s. Have I basically got all the 1, 2s now? So I should have 9 blues, and I do. And I should have 9 purples, I will do. Done. Leaves me with a 3 in here for sure. Just checking for obvious Sudoku that I've missed. It's kind of my trademark, really. No sixes, of course. No sevens. 5 is definitely here. Don't know if I have anything else. And the 5 is definitely there. With a 6, 8, or 9. Let me just check the quadruples that I've like done, 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 kind of done. We'll call it kind of done. Again, kind of done. Like I think I've got, actually I missed a 4 in here. Not a 4, is a 4. Four. Okay. I think that's good. Bit weird that the 4s are here. So like there's probably something that's telling me to take a look at the 3s now. Yeah, tells me there's a 3 here. 3 there. Still plenty of rooms for the 8s. No 3s gives me a 3. Right, let's think about the 4s. Something is telling... I don't know why I was able to resolve the 3s, but not the 4s. I'm not getting that. They're kind of a bit offset, which is a bit weird. But I think the offset is coming from this... Yeah, from these quadruples. 4-5 pair, of course, tells me that's not a 4. That is a 4. This is now a 5-7 pair. I'll pencil mark. I'll take it. 5, 7, 9. Not hugely interesting. And essentially this 5, 7 is in... No. This 5, 7 is this 5, 7. And then in here I have 5, 7, 6. Not very exciting. And then another 5, 7, and a 9. Well, the 7 has to be in one of these two cells. That's... Okay, so like I was going around checking where... If I've used all the quadruples, and then I just stopped halfway for some reason. So that's definitely a 7. 7 is up here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This is at least 5, and it's not 6 or 7. Next one along would be 8, which can't be true. Even 8 in here with a 1 gets me to a 9, which is not available. So it's definitely a 5, and then the 1 and 2 must add up to 6 or 7. But it's not 6. Sorry, it's not 7. So it's definitely 6, telling us blue is 1, purple is 2. Fabulous. What a beautiful puzzle. Right, then we have 8, 9 pair. Sudoku says that's the 8, that's the 9, that's not the 8, that's the 8. And I'm getting the feeling it's going to be largely downhill from here. Like we've kind of cracked most of the logic now. So an 8, 9 pair, looks like it. 8 here, 9 there. The other 5, 7 is here. In the column we have a 5, 7, and a 6, which I haven't got a clue where it is, so ignore. The 8, which is none of these, is in here. Not there. Gives me a 5, 8 pair in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need 6, 7, and 9. 9 is not there. That's a 9. This is a 6, 7 pair, which tells me this is a 6, 8 pair. In fact, the 8 gave me the 6 and the 8, and this is 3, 5. How is the 3 still not resolved? 3, 5 pair gives me 8 and 5. These are not 8, so that's 7, 9. This is 6. This is 5, 9. That's the... I didn't mean to do that. That's 4. That was the 9, the 5, the 7, the 5, the 7, the 5, 9 pair. Oh yeah, I can resolve it. 4, 5 pair in the column. So that is 9, 5, 6, 7, 7, 7, if I can type. 5, 6, not 6, is 5. 3, 5, somehow not resolved. I don't believe it. And the 4s is still sticking. Well, let's solve this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then 4, 7, 7, 4, 5, 4, 3, 5, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if I've not made any mistakes, 6 for the finish. What a phenomenal puzzle, Mr. Sinclair. Absolutely beautiful. Really enjoyed this. And I think I really enjoyed it because I did some Sudoku along the way, which actually made this so much easier. If I did this in my normal solution approach, where I just exhaust the variance before I consider Sudoku, I imagine I'd still be here trying to solve it for another 20 minutes. Hope you guys enjoyed the puzzle and the video, and I'll see you back soon. Bye-bye for now. And I say that, but I actually haven't got kind of my shortcuts ready to hit stop. There you go.